So back at it, it's your boy DC_Darlin. How you guys doing? We're gonna continue with a walkthrough, and in this episode, all we're gonna focus on really is to get everything wired up. We just want to print "Hello World" on the browser, and that's it. Okay. So I was doing this tutorial earlier, but then again, I was not recording. I've just realized that, so I had to delete the folder, and now we're gonna clone the repository one more time and start from where we left off. So let us clone this. I'm gonna open my terminal, Control Alt T, that is. Sorry, I have a cold. Okay, then I'm gonna make it slightly bigger, and then I'm gonna seed into my desktop, git clone, and paste that there. Oh, okay, let me delete that. So rm.rf Andela101, and then git clone, paste that there. Okay, cloning. Of course, we're going to cd into Andela101, open it with Visual Studio Code, and close our terminal. Perfect. So this is what we had last time, and thanks for the comments. So I did not know that if you have an empty directory and you try pushing it to Git, it's not gonna go. So that's why we don't have our UIs folder. So I'm gonna recreate a UI folder, and in it I'm just gonna add a blank index.html. Okay. Also, as you can see, we don't have our test directory because it was empty, so I'm gonna add tests, and then inside I'm gonna say test something.py for now. Of course, we'll change it when the time comes. Again, a quick configuration. As it stands right now, our entry point of our application is over here, and I just want it to be in the root directory. Of course, it can still work where it is, but I feel it's going to be a lot more easier if we have it to the root. So I'm going to drag and drop it to the root directory. So we have run.py over here, and then of course I'm going to add underbar init init.py so that this can be a module. Okay, and that's it. So let's get to coding. So what is the first thing we want to do? We want to start playing with this init over here. This is going to act as the glue, because this is where we're going to import Flask, instantiate Flask, and all that good stuff. Okay, so before we do that, I'm going to open the terminal. Let's Control tilde, and then I am going to create a virtual environment. So Python 3.6, because we're using Python 3.6 -m venv. Always call my virtual environments venv. Of course, you can name it anything you want. Next step we want to do, we want to activate a virtual environment. So source venv bin activate, bam. As you can see, our virtual environment is activated because we have the name of a virtual environment before my amazing name over there. Okay, I'm gonna clear that. Everything is set, so let's get to coding. Quick dependency we will need for now is Flask, so I'm gonna install that real quick. So pip install Flask. Okay, as it's installing, let's get to coding. Okay, so we want to import Flask, so from Flask import Flask. Okay, next thing we want to do, we want to instantiate Flask, so app equals to Flask name, and that's it for now. We're not going to do any other fancy thing because we'll skip the running, the if app, whatever, if main block, and we'll handle that in our run.py. But for now, that's it. So let me hit save, and of course we got pylint. We're missing a docstring, and the app doesn't conform to uppercase. So of course we're gonna adhere to pylint, maybe a bit of pep8. So I'll say this is the glue. Of course, you want to make your doc strings more descriptive than mine. I'm just doing this for an example purpose. You have to say what this module is doing and all that stuff, but I'm going to keep it that way. Of course, the next thing we want to do, we want to fix this. Make sure our constants are capital letters. So app Flask name. And I think we're done with that file for now. Of course, we'll get back to it in a minute, but for now, that is done. Remember, the main objective for this tutorial really is just to print "Hello World" to the browser. So let's go to auth, and we'll go to views.py, and of course let's just do a quick docstring and say this this module contains the auth endpoint routes, for example. Again, please make sure your doc strings are more descriptive. So quickly, I'm going to import from Flask. I want to get a couple of things. One of them is JSONify, and the next one, have I spelled it right? JSONify. The next one is Blueprint, because we want to make our app modular in a way. And by that I mean, for example, we have auth and events, as you can see, but Blueprint, the advantage is that it makes this modules like some sort of mini apps. So let's say, for example, I'm coming up with a new API and I need authentication. I can easily copy this whole folder to the new project and it will work seamlessly because of the aspect of Blueprints. Okay, you can Google and read more about Blueprints later if you so wish. So let's call our blueprint auth. Again, constants need to be uppercase. That's according to Pylint. I'm not really sure if Pep8 recommends that we should have constant name as capital letters, but again, not important for now. So this is going to be equal to blueprint, and I'm just going to put the same name over there, and then I'm going to do the normal underbar name. Okay, so over here I can easily say auth, just put a decorator auth dot route, and if it's the default route, what's going to happen, let's just define a method and call it home, and we return JSONify. Let's say let's say message hello world, put some exclamation marks, and then pass the status code, let's say 200, for example. I'm gonna save that. We're missing a doc string, so be like, this is the default method. Again, make sure your doc strings are more descriptive than mine. I'm just doing it in a hurry sort of way. Okay, so like I said, we're not really done because we want to get to the glue of our app over here, and we want to import this blueprint. Okay, so from its event API, and then we go to API auth. So it's event underscore API auth. So API auth, and then we're going to views, and we're importing how do we call it? We called it auth. Why is it in small letters? Anyway, nope, it's capital letters. Yep, it's capital letters. So event API auth views. Event API, we missed something. API. So event API auth, and then views. Now we're getting auth. Okay, so register this blueprint. So app.register blueprint, and it's auth, and that should be enough to print hello world. We got Pylint and Pep8 issues, so module should be on top of the file. So yeah, any module level import should be on top of the file. So like this one should be on top of the file, but if we put it there, it's not going to work. I'll show you how to fix this later, or maybe we may choose to maybe ignore the warnings, but I'll show you how we'll work around this. Okay, so we're getting the same errors. We're supposed to have this on top of the file, but again, as I said, I'll show you how to work around this in a minute. So I'm gonna go to the terminal and clear that, sorry, and let's try to run this. So Python run. Oh, we have no code for run. Did we handle run.py? I don't think we did. Okay, run.py. Well, this one is gonna be very simple. Like I said, this is like the glue, not the glue. This is where the app runs. So I'm gonna do some entry point. Again, please make your doc strings more descriptive. Don't be like me and do the lazy descriptions just to get rid of the warnings, but please make sure that your doc strings are descriptive. So from, we want to get our app. So this is event API, import event API, we go to app, and then over here, so event API, API import app. Okay, and then of course we just want to say up.1 and set debug to true. Okay, that's it. So we're good to go. Do we have any? Nah. So python run.py, and if we control click that, as we can see, we have our hello world over there. So yeah, our app is nicely set up. Close that. So our initial app structure is set up. So the next episode we're gonna focus on the test directory, and we will probably create let's see what we're supposed to be doing next. As you can see now, readme, we're supposed to have a register, so auth register, this will be the next thing we're going to focus on. So we'll just create this and then write tests for this endpoint. Okay, so that's for the next episode. Anyway, so the last thing we want to do, we want to push this to Git. So I'm gonna stop the server, clear that branch, check out all our branches. So we only had one branch over here for the folder structure, so I'm gonna create a new branch. So git, let me clear so that maybe you guys can see clearly. So git checkout -b, and this one we're gonna call it 2. Again, I'm gonna name them in a numerical sort of order so that you guys can easily follow what's going on. Okay, so this is 2, and we're gonna call it what have we done, print hello world. So this is a chore, and let's say print hello world. Okay, and then we're gonna add everything. So let me clear one more time. Git add everything, git commit. Sorry, I got questions about how do we commit, like, you know, a more detailed commit. So instead of doing git commit -m and then, you know, the quotation marks of your commit message, you can just do git commit and then you hit enter, and then it's gonna open. This is nano. And so over here you can type in your commit message. So you can, for example, say chore, and you can say print hello world, for example, and then you can add more lines and say this was to sort of wire up everything. Okay, so you can do multiple lines, and once you're done, you hit Control X, and then you hit yes for Y, and then you hit enter, and that's it. So git, make clear one more time, git push. Again, as you remember, we have this branch in our local but not in our remote, so we need to push upstream. So git push -- set upstream, exactly as it's suggested over here. So origin, that's 2. Okay, as for our username, so just put in your username and your password. Yep, and I guess we're done with this episode. Just a quick confirmation to see that everything is there. I'm gonna refresh this page, and now you can see we have a new branch, and as you can see, this is what we worked on. Our UI folder is in there, and we have an index.html, so everything is nice and running. So guys, next episode we're gonna work on this. We're just gonna create an empty register API /auth register endpoint, and then we're gonna handle tests for this one. Okay, so see you in the next episode. It's your boy DC_Darlin. Peace out.